Many times I get the question, why? Why do you do what you do? Or why did you go? And it's very simple. It's this. Because of God's great love for me. His extravagant love that has gone above and beyond. He has set that example that I'm compelled to obey. Compelled to serve. And this topic just fits in so well with being a missionary. Because often, missionaries are summarized or described by the acts that they do. And us today, church, let us be a church known by what we do. Let us be a church that is known and described by the actions that we do. And the key to all of this, and we've sung it, the songs couldn't have been more perfect. The key to all of this is understanding that it's not just God's love, but it's his compassion. Yeah. That word compassion. Because when we have compassion, it leads us to action. Jesus was a man of compassion. And we see in Matthew 9, verses 36 to 37, he said, when he saw the crowds, he had compassion on them, because they were harassed and helpless like sheep without a shepherd. And then he said to his disciples, the harvest is plentiful, but the workers are few. Today the harvest is really plentiful. The workers are few. What Jesus is telling us in this passage is we need to have compassion in order to act, in order to go, in order to do. And our text for today is a very familiar story. Many of you will have probably read it time and time and time again, or heard it in Sunday school, learnt it in school. It's from Luke 10, verses 25 to 37. So if you have a Bible, have it open. I'm going to refer to it as we go through. It's a very familiar story. We all know it as the Good Samaritan. And I want to really link with that word compassion because we read it in verse 33. Luke 10, verse 33. Then a despised Samaritan came along, and when he saw the man, he felt compassion for him. There's a phrase in Tagalog, and it says Abot-Kamay. Abot-Kamay. And do you know what that means? It means to reach out. To reach out your hand. To lend a hand, to give help. And usually we think of it in terms of what we can achieve. What is within my reach? What is within my possibility? What is it I can attain? And often we think we have dreams about our jobs, our family, our career, what is it possible that I can attain? But today, I want to change our thinking about that. Because the question I have is what is within your reach, but who is within your reach? You see, and Jesus answers that very question in our passage today. But before we read it, I want to just explore a few words that are going to help us as we go through this. The first word, and because I want to teach you some Filipino, is Kapwa. I should go on. Kapwa. And what does Kapwa mean? Kapwa means the person beside you. The Filipino idea of Kapwa, my Kapwa, is to teach us that we share life with one another. It comes from two words. It comes from the word ka, which means relationship with one another. There are two people in this. We can't live on our own. It's me and you. So that's where the ka comes from. And the pwa comes from puang, which means shared space, or the space that we share together. So by combining these two words together, it reminds us that we're not strangers. We are people living in community together. This is our community. This is our kapwa, our humanity. It means togetherness. And in Filipino culture, that is so core. It's part of the essence of who they are. When they come together, they're never alone. When you're in a group of Filipinos, you are automatically family. Wouldn't that be great if we could make that here? And I think we have that here. So many people, when I talk to them, there's something special about Rugby Elim. When I came to Rugby Elim, I felt like I belonged. I felt like I was family. I felt like I'd found my Kapwa, the people that I share space with, my community. The lawyer asked Jesus in our story, before Jesus told the parable, he was chatting with the lawyer, and the lawyer says to him, so who is my neighbour? The question today, who is my Kapwa, or who is my community? Let's return to the story. Jesus replied, when he asked him, who is my neighbour? Jesus replied with a story. He said, a Jewish man was travelling from Jerusalem down to Jericho, and he was attacked by bandits. They stripped him of his clothes, beat him up, and left him half dead beside the road. By chance, a priest came along. But when he saw the man lying there, he crossed to the other side of the road and passed him by. A temple assistant walked over and looked at him lying there, but he also passed by on the other side. Then a despised Samaritan came along. And when he saw the man, he felt compassion for him. Going over to him, the Samaritan soothed his wounds with olive oil and wine and bandaged them. Then he put the man on his own donkey and took him to an inn, where he took care of him. The next day he handed the innkeeper 2 silver coins, telling him, take care of this man. If his bill runs higher than this, I'll pay you next time I'm here. Now, which of these 3 would you say was a neighbour to the man who was attacked by bandits? Jesus asked. Let's just quickly summarize. A man is attacked, robbed, beaten, left half dead. Many people passed him by. The priest saw him. The Levite saw him, but they kept walking. See, here's the problem today is many see. We all see what's around us. We can see the poverty. We can see the problems. We can see the hardship, but we don't stop. Why? Why didn't they stop? Because they don't have compassion. We must have compassion, because it's the compassion that's in us that is going to lead us to action. How often do we see the same? A struggling student, a lonely elderly person, that family in debt, people who are working far from home. The Philippines, we call them OFWs, overseas Filipino workers. There are many people in this country who have come here to work. They've left their families behind. The person sitting behind you in church right now, carrying a burden that you don't know. Many people you see are within our sight, but not within our reach, because we never stop. We don't take that time to stop. Why? Because we lack compassion. Ouch. It's a little bit of an ouch this morning. The compassion of the Samaritan was different. He was different. All of them saw, but only he had compassion. Jesus said when he saw the man, he felt compassion for him. He didn't say, is he my responsibility? Lord, is he my responsibility? He didn't ask the question, what will this cost me? He didn't say, do I have enough time? He simply saw the need and acted and responded. Compassion is not simply seeing suffering. It means you have the feeling of concern. It's combined with a desire to alleviate it. Let me say that again. I think I've mixed up my words. Compassion is not simply seeing it. It means you have a feeling of concern, and it's combined with a desire to alleviate it. It involves recognizing someone's pain, feeling a sympathetic connection to it, but then being motivated to take action to help them. The word compassion, the Latin root, actually means to suffer together. That's what that word means. When you have compassion on someone, it means that you're going to suffer together with them. Church, we all need to be motivated into action. We need to do what that Filipino phrase, Abot-Kamay, reach out our hand because it's within our reach. A compassion that will compel us into action. You won't get compassion, though, if you don't go out. I say this a lot, actually. This seems to be a running theme whenever I speak, is that we're never going to see it while we're staying inside. We need to go out. Many of us, including myself, we get wrapped up in home church work. Home church work. We rotate around those things and we don't ever, or very rarely, step outside those parameters. Why? Maybe you might see something. In fact, you will see something. And if we're led to be generous and go above and beyond as God has already done for us, then we'll be compassionate. When we're compassionate, it will lead us to action, to do something. You see, compassion moves us to action. We have the greatest opportunity, I believe, in our church's history than ever before to be able to show to our town that we have compassion. Remember what compassion means, suffer together. It means to go out and meet the needs. One Regents, I truly believe, is going to give us that launch pad. It takes us out of the comfort of this, puts us into the reality and right in the middle of where we're going to come into contact every day with people who are going to have needs. Here's what the Samaritan did. He came near. He bandaged the wounds. He used his own oil and wine, put the man on his own animal, and paid for his care. You see, compassion has to become practical. It's our time. It's our time to become compassionate Rugby Elim, but it's going to cost us. The next word I have for you is another Filipino word, and it's called Bayanihan. Bayanihan literally means being the hero for your Kapwa. Okay? And what it means is it's a community spirit of helping one another. And what I love about the Philippines, if you're going to move house in the Philippines, this is how you do it. Okay? In the province, this is how you do it. The whole community will come out and they will lift the house and together they will move it to where it needs to go. That is Bayanihan. That is the community spirit. What does it say? It says, I'm in this with you. We are with you. And we are going to come along and do whatever it takes to help you. We're going to be the hero. That is the essence of a Filipino. They have the Bayanihan spirit, community spirit, for their Kapwa, their community, the people that they share that space with. Helping others is not just for what we get from it. They're not moving that house and then they're all going to live in it. They're not going to fit. Well, actually, they maybe would fit, but they're not all going to live in it. Not doing it for anything in return. The Samaritan didn't do it for anything in return. He simply did it out of compassion. Every time we do something for someone else, we are bringing Jesus within reach. We are being Jesus to them. I love what James says. I love the book of James. It's so practical. The early church was so good at helping each other. And here's a great example of the Bayanihan spirit is when you look in James 2 verses 15 to 16. And actually that whole passage of James 2. They were making a point of distributing food every day to the needy. Because James clearly tells us that our faith is only manifested in what we do. It's not the other way around. Don't get tricked. It's not our works that may give us faith and save us, but it's our faith that compels us into action. It's our faith that makes us look for those in need. And this is what James says. It's in the Message because I quite like it. It's to the point. And he says, so suppose you see a brother or sister who has no food or clothing and you say goodbye and have a good day, stay warm and eat well, but you don't give that person any food or clothing. What good does that do? No, we can't share the love of Jesus if we go around blind to the needs of our community and if we don't have compassion. Every act of kindness says this: Jesus is within reach. You can reach out to Jesus. John didn't know what I was speaking about today, and if you're not here at 9:30, you miss it. You really miss out, because this is almost the second portion to what John had already brought this morning. You see, Jesus has already reached out to us. We need to tell people that Jesus is there so that they can reach on to him and hold on to Jesus. Today, Jesus asked this: who is lying on the roadside in your community? Who is within your reach? You see, the church, as a church, we're called to carry each other's burdens. We need to Abot-Kamay, extend our hand, extend our reach. The Samaritan crossed the road. Sometimes ministry, you think, is reserved for people in full-time ministry or missionaries or pastors or elders or whatever. But it's really as simple as this. It's simply crossing the road. It's simply extending your hand. Think about your situations. Think about where you are. Can you cross the classroom? Can you cross the church aisle? Sometimes, we don't even cross over to the other side of the church aisle. We've got 3 aisles now. Can you cross across to the other side of the other neighbourhood, that neighbourhood that you've never maybe gone into before? Can you cross a social or a cultural barrier? Can you cross your comfort zone? I just want to present, I'm coming to an end, but I want to just present 3 very simple ways that you can extend, or we can extend our reach. Number 1, just be present. Be present. People need someone who will stop. The priest, the Levite saw, but they didn't stop. They aren't present. We just need to be present. And when we're present, we'll hear. Number 2, be compassionate. Allow God to break your heart for people. You can't do any of this. I can't go across to the other side of the world, to the Philippines, if I don't have compassion, if I'm not willing to suffer together, if I'm not willing to go into action. We need to be people of compassion. If we're going to be extravagant in our actions, you have to be compassionate. And thirdly, you need to be generous. The Samaritan is the example here. He was generous not only with his time, he was generous with his resources. Probably that olive oil was costly. The bandages that he had, the fact that he took him to his inn, left money and didn't just leave it there, said, I'll be back. Whatever it costs, I'm willing to pay that price for this person I don't even know. Can we be generous with our encouragement? Joe taught us that a few weeks ago. Generous with our words and generous with our faith. Don't forget, every act that you do says to somebody else, Jesus is within reach. Jesus is within reach. The question is no longer, who is my neighbour? The question is, will I be a neighbour? Will I be a Bayanihan, a community spirit to my Kapwa? The Good Samaritan teaches us that love crosses the road. Kapwa reminds us that we belong to one another. We have a responsibility to one another. And Bayanihan tells us that we need to help one another. And lastly, Abot-Kamay means that God's love is close enough to touch. He's never outside our reach. He's always within reach. Today, Jesus says, go and do likewise. We've heard that in our songs. We've heard that from Marty, our missions director. Go and do likewise. Be a neighbour in your shared space. Make the love of Jesus within reach. Let's go above and beyond. Let it be known to all of Rugby that Jesus is within reach. I want to finish with a song. And I'm not going to get back over. I'm going to hand over. But there's words in this song that must become our heart's cry. These lyrics are so inspiring, but it says this. It says, we must go, live to feed the hungry, stand beside the broken. We must go. And this is what I want us. This needs to be our heart's cry, Rugby Elim. Stepping forward, keep us from just singing. Move us into action. We must go. It's time that we don't just sing about it. It's great to join together and sing about it, but it's time to go.